Well, 2 police funerals yesterday in Canada, and I bet you only heard about one. I'm just passing my old junior school here. It's really early in the morning. They got the flag, the Canada flag and the pride flag at half-mast. I don't know why the pride flag's even on there, but and whatever. But yeah, yesterday was Mark Pinzato's funeral in Toronto. The largest funeral for a police officer in Ontario history, possibly Canadian history. 17,000 officers attended this funeral. It was massive. I watched it on and off throughout the day. It was a moving ceremony. His 2 twin kids went up and spoke. His mother went up and spoke. His brothers went up and gave a eulogy. And yeah, it was emotional. By all accounts, like I said, Pinzato, as his colleagues and his hockey teammates called him, Pinner. That was his handle, Pinner. Yeah, 17,000. The funeral went on for hours, and yeah, it was a good send-off for him. But what I come to know from yesterday as well was a cop from Montreal that got shot and killed. His funeral was late last night, or last night. And he indeed is of Muslim faith, and in the Muslim faith they bury, or they have the funeral ceremonies relatively quick. And apparently 1,000 people attended that funeral service. So I didn't hear anything about it on the news. I came across a news article this morning, which I'll put up on the screen, with regards to his funeral. Now, Doug Ford, from my understanding, has put out an emergency notice that he wants to meet with all premiers across the country to discuss the safety of the policing community. He wants to have an emergency meeting to try to figure out how to keep the cops alive. Now, obviously, we've had a lot of incidents surrounding police as of late. A lot of them, like a disproportionate amount of them, or comparatively speaking, over the years have died. It's the first time in 24 years a Montreal cop died, and it's the first time in the 50-year history of the emergency task force that an emergency task force officer died. My understanding, I don't have the numbers, but my understanding is since the Liberals took power in 2015, the number of police fatalities has gone up exponentially. Makes sense, right? You more or less abandon the legal system. You make it easy for repeat offenders and violent offenders to get back on the street, or not even to go to jail. This is going to happen. And it's also the gang culture, the fatherless gang culture in this country. And what I mean by that is, you got a large demographic of the country that doesn't have a father in the home. So that translates into a lot less discipline in the home, a lot less control of the children. Then you couple that with the gang culture within the world, and not even North America, but within the world, and you get these violent crimes, you get these gun crimes, you get these strong arm robbery crimes, home invasions, carjackings, you get all that stuff. Getting back to the funeral for a second, the largest funeral prior to Pinzato's funeral yesterday was William Billy Barker. He's a World War I flying ace and a recipient of the Victoria Cross. I've been to his final resting spot at Mount Pleasant Cemetery. He's in a mausoleum. In 1930, they had 50,000 people attend his funeral. But yesterday, when I was watching this funeral, I'm thinking to myself, holy, that is a lot of people at this funeral. So that is the most recent 2 deaths of police officers. So how many more police are going to get killed in Liberal Canada? I predict many more. Like I've alluded to, or I flat out have said in my videos, the police are collateral damage of the globalist mindset. They are being used as cannon fodder. But having said that, the frontline officers and the DEI hiring of the frontline officers, they don't care about them. And if the police haven't figured that out yet, I don't know when they're going to figure that out. Now, when Mark Pinzato got killed, that was a big deal because he was an upper echelon cop. They made a bigger deal out of that, in my estimation. I know, little incendiary to say, but that's the way I look at it. Now, what I want to talk about too is, I touched on it yesterday, but Mark Carney's bailout of the condo market in Vancouver. My understanding is he is going to bail out or purchase 2,200 condos in Vancouver at a price tag of over $3 billion. Now this is unheard of in Canadian history, and a lot of people are speculating and saying that basically Carney has to do it because a lot of it is tied into his Chinese business dealings, and a lot of these developers and people that are on the hook for these vacant condos, I think there's over 4,000 vacant condos, but he's buying only 2,200, are of Chinese origin. So which would further lend credence to his relationship with China and organized crime, and that dates back to Trudeau as well. There is documented information that Trudeau met with Chinese triads, organized crime members, out in Vancouver, I think shortly after he became Prime Minister in 2015, 2016. I'm going to put a video at the end of this video with Sam Cooper outlining the condo bailout, and I'll put that at the end of this video, like I said. So, unheard of. Another $3.2 billion to bail out private companies. Now we're bailing out private companies. People are starving in this country. People are losing their houses, losing their deposits for the condos because they can't afford to move into them. They're already $200,000 and $300,000 in negative equity because the condo market has crashed. Now Carney comes along and just slaps Canadians in the face once again for his foreign interest. Now I'm not fully versed, other than what I just said, with regards to the condo bailout, but obviously it is just one head-scratching maneuver after the next with Mark Carney and the Liberals. This guy's a financial genius. Yeah, sure, he's a financial genius for Brookfield Asset Management and all his holdings and interests. Of course he's a genius for that, but he's using Canadians' dime, the taxpayers' dime, to accomplish all this. It's unbelievable. It truly is mind-boggling. Anyhow, that's all I got to say in this video. Mark Carney somehow commandeering another $3+ billion to help out his Chinese buddies. And how many more cops are going to get killed in Canada under the Liberals? The cops got to get together. Dougie Ford, you know, assembling all the premiers to talk about how to keep cops alive. Yeah, well listen, canary in the coal mine. Once the cops start getting killed, what about the rest of us? Right? So, but I think he's polling so low. He's the lowest polling premier in Canada. He's just doing anything. And you know, obviously they're on another 4-month vacation. The Federals are on a 3-month vacation, whatever it is. And yeah, they're trying to bum rush as much skullduggery through as they possibly can, with no accountability. But anyhow, that's all I got to say in this video. Got any questions, comments, concerns, put it in the comment section. Help me understand, help me wrap my head around this Mark Carney condo bailout. Bye.